Good afternoon, students. About 3 spheres we had completed: lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. Yesterday we were discussing about atmosphere, the specialities, different gases percent, their percentage, and what are the uses, how even the dust particle, how it is useful, and the other uses of atmosphere. Yes. Now we move to biosphere. What is biosphere? Bio, the word biology, bio. Last year you had studied in science class. No, in English class. Maybe in science also. Bio means life. So biosphere, where life is there, that sphere is known as biosphere. Now you may get a confusion. In hydrosphere is also life there. Aquatic life is there? No. Yes. And in lithosphere also, trees and plants and everything, human beings, yes, life is there. And atmosphere, anything is there. So then why separate biosphere? In all these sphere, what is life? Otherwise, where is life? That sphere is altogether we call as biosphere. Okay? So don't get confused with it is something different there, only the biosphere, otherwise only living things. No, living beings are totally associated with other spheres also. So from that, when we separate living and non-living things, the living things category will go for biosphere. So it is clear now. The part of lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, it's a part only. Where the living world exists is known as biosphere, underline. So part of lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, in that where the living world exists. Hydrosphere also living world is there, lithosphere also it is there, atmosphere is also it is there. So where the living world exists, that we can say biosphere. Okay, it is one of the important spheres on Earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system having biosphere. Underline that also. It is the only planet in the solar system having biosphere. Underline. Biosphere includes vegetation, animals, insects and human beings. Which things are coming there in biosphere? In which things life is there? Living organisms, living things, so that we can say it includes vegetation, yes, animals and insects. Here it includes animals, insects, birds, microorganisms, whatever it may be, whatever the living organisms. Okay, and definitely human beings also, surely. So underline that also, which things are included in biosphere. Now we cannot live without we obtain food and many other necessary things from biosphere. We get food from biosphere. Yes or no? Now you may think we get food and many other necessary things from biosphere. Yes. Plants. It gives us food. It gives food. Living things only, no plants. Otherwise milk and milk products. From where we get? Cow, buffalo, living things only. Yes, so that we can say we obtain food and many other necessary things from biosphere. Sugar, it's a necessary thing. From where to get? From sugar cane. It is a living thing. Yes, like that many other things. Here on table is there. I have kept my book and my phone is here on this small table. Now it is not a living thing, but from where we got this wood? It was from a tree. Yes, no. So tree, living thing. So in our day-to-day life, many things we obtain from this biosphere only. We cannot live without vegetation and animals. Biosphere is the base of existence and living. Underline. What is the base of existence and living? Biosphere, underline. Biosphere is the base of our existence and living. Now it is divided into two parts, living and non-living things. Okay, otherwise biotic and abiotic. Last year studied biotic and abiotic. So non-living things and living things. Now just to think about different spheres. Lithosphere. On the lithosphere we can see that many living things and not many non-living things. Just to get out of your house and look at the lithosphere, you can see soil, it is non-living thing. At the same time you can see a dog runs over there, it's a living thing. You can see a lot of plants and trees, living thing. You can see small pebbles or stones there, yes, buildings there. So living and non-living things together, it is there. Like that in atmosphere also, you can see birds flying, insects are there, and even we cannot see with our naked eyes that type of microorganisms are there, and we can feel air also. Yes, living and non-living things mixing. And in water also, otherwise in hydrosphere also, what you can see, water you can see, and maybe sand or stone you can see. At the same time aquatic plants, fish, yes. So in all these spheres it's mixed only, living and non-living things. But from that, so we are dividing it into two, living and non-living thing. But lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere form the non-living part. Actually in the textbook don't get confused with lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere form the non-living part, while plants, animals and microorganisms are included in the living world. So don't get confused, lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, non-living. Don't think like that. In lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere also the non-living things and living things are there. But when we talk about the biosphere, the living things from these all spheres we consider. Okay, so it is a part of that only. So in short we can say all these spheres are connected. Without lithosphere, hydrosphere will not be there. Yes, no? Only hydrosphere will be there, lithosphere will not be there. And the lithosphere is connected with hydrosphere. Lithosphere is connected with atmosphere. Yes, and all these are connected with biosphere. So all these are interconnected. Without one another cannot exist. Yes, and without the world is like that only. Otherwise the complete this earth, one sphere is related with the other sphere. So in that way you should understand. You cannot separate it for our studies and for purpose. Otherwise for geographically we can say it is hydrosphere, it is lithosphere, it is atmosphere and it is biosphere. But one is interconnected. Without biosphere, living organisms are not there, and only living organisms can't live. Non-living organisms are also needed for maintaining the balance of the environment. Yes, so all these are interconnected. Now see, if any element in the living world is destroyed, then what will be its effect on our lives? Suppose if any element in the living world is destroyed, not the non-living world, living world is destroyed, then what will be its effect on our life? For instance, what happens if the birds are wiped out from the face of the earth? Just to imagine, birds are not there. Many types of birds are not there. You might have studied, no? Endangered animals and the animals that disappeared from this. I think 6th or 7th standard English one type of lesson was there. I remember like that. Yes. So many type of animals are already extinct. Animals, birds, insects. So endangered and extinct animals you had already studied. So suppose you imagine if birds are not there, all birds disappear and otherwise extinct. Any effect will be there on that, on the earth. How does it affect? Completely birds are wiped out from the face of the earth. How it will affect? At the same time, before answering this question, we should think what are the uses of birds. Birds का कुछ uses है क्या? Yes, it helps farmers, helps for pollination, and birds, they add beauty to the nature. Yes, no, say beautiful living creature. And sometimes it disturbs farmers also, because it gains and different types of birds are there. But if suppose if any living creature is disappearing from this earth, it may affect the total existence. Otherwise, it is a part of, it's a component of the earth only, whatever it may be. One way or other way, it is useful. So if anything is disappearing, it will affect. Nowadays, we know, even very earlier, I think in my childhood, in the morning it was easy to see a lot of birds outside of my house. Lot of butterflies in the garden, and crows. Nowadays we cannot see all these things. Even in the garden, butterflies are very, very rarely we can see one or two butterflies. And dragonflies are never there. And honeybees, no. They are all there. Gradually all these are disappearing from our earth. They are in endangered level. At that many are extincted also. So because of global warming, otherwise pollution, otherwise changing climate, all these affect. Yes. So there are environmental balance also getting disturbed. So if anything is disappearing from the earth, otherwise extincting from the earth, definitely it will affect the ecosystem of the earth. Okay. Now see, some pictures are given, and that below that box one sentence is also there. If man harms the earth by his activities, then do you think it will affect the species? That the answer of this question is coming in the next page. Now see, natural, man-made, natural components, man-made components. At the center you see components of biosphere. It is talking about biosphere, and which are the components. Natural components are there, and man-made components are also there. Living also there, people, non-living, yes. So components of it is biosphere, it is given, but you think in biosphere we should consider about the living things, and the non-living things, these all are mixed only. Now see, human beings are there, tree, then non-living things are there, natural elements are there, man-made elements, buildings and other roads, factories, everything you can see. So this all together make our earth. But when we divide it into different spheres, we can categorize them. Clear? Now see the next picture. Effect of human activities on spheres. Effect of human activities on spheres. Human activities means what? What we all people do. Yes, no. Now you think, I am not doing anything. And I am also not doing anything. Then who destroys the environment? Let us see. Human beings knowingly and unknowingly undertake many activities for their development. The main purpose of human being, otherwise mankind, is to develop. They want to get more and more comfort, more and more money, more and more development. For that he will do anything. Then he is not considering about the environment, otherwise not about other people. They are always busy with earning money and in their own profit motive. Basically human beings are like that. So when we do something on that purpose, we forget about the earth. Then knowingly, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, we undertake many activities for our development, but because of those activities, the different spheres of the earth spoils. Let us see. Human action causes an imbalance in the different spheres. Underline. What causes an imbalance in different spheres? Human activities. Due to this, the balance of various spheres threatened. The balance between these four spheres, it is threatened. Why? Because of the human activities, maybe knowingly, maybe unknowingly. Now some examples. Underground nuclear testing, too much drilling for mineral oil, and excessive drilling of the tube wells affect the lithosphere and causes imbalance. First about lithosphere. Lithosphere. Which activities, otherwise which human activities affect lithosphere? So underline. First one, underground nuclear testing. Nuclear testing. Underground nuclear testing, otherwise in desert regions, nuclear testing is there because all countries they are preparing nuclear weapons to fight with other countries. Yes, all are there. So this is like nuclear testing. Before we are using the testing is there. At any time, in any country attacks, we are ready to nuclear weapons. Every country is like that only. Even many of them are below poverty line. They are not getting education, not getting vaccine or medicine. Whatever it may be, all these problems are there. But at the same time, we are accumulating a lot of weapons. It is for safety. One side it is for safety, and other side we ourselves getting ready to spoil us. So underground nuclear testing is like that. So because of this underground nuclear testing, lithosphere effect. Okay. Next one, too much drilling for mineral oil, crude oil, petroleum, diesel, all these things are there. So we do drilling to extract that from the interior of the earth. So in that also lithosphere get affected. Next one, excessive drilling of tube oil, So in that also that very excessive way that drilling to be done to get water. That afterwards we found that water. So this excessive drilling for water to get the water and crude oil that also affect. So many 2-3 points are given there. How does the lithosphere underline underground nuclear testing? Number 1. Number 2, too much drilling for mineral oil and excessive drilling of tube wells. Okay? Underline. So it affects the lithosphere and it causes imbalance. Next, the dumping of waste from villages and cities along with industrial waste into the water bodies polluter. And lithosphere we understood how does it affect the hydrosphere and the wastewater bodies. Water bodies, what we throw, excessive dumping of what? Waste from villages and cities and industrial waste stores. So that this water body is getting polluted. So hydrosphere is getting polluted. Underline. How does the hydrosphere get polluted? The dumping of waste from villages and cities along with industrial waste into the water body is polluted. The polar caps have started melting due to increasing. You have studied in previous class what are the polar regions. Polar and South Pole. It is 2 polar regions. So polar ice caps are there. Ice caps. Yes. So that also started to melt because of the extreme heat in the environment. Otherwise, very extreme heat in the atmosphere. When extreme heat is there, this polar caps also melt. Then as a result, what happened? This ice glaciers, otherwise this ice caps, when it melt, it comes down the sea, otherwise ocean, then sea level rises. As a result, what happens? The sea level increasing. When the sea level increases, what happens? Whatever the area surrounded otherwise on the coastal side, sea banks, sea coast, there whatever the area is there, and sea coast and otherwise some river bank region also, there water will overflow. And as a result, that area is submerged into the water. So that is going to happen. It is telling that Gujarat, coastal region of Gujarat is very high, and it is very long. The longest coastal region is in Gujarat. It means stagnant area. That is good. One side it is good. But another side is dangerous, because suppose if such a situation arises, the Arabian Sea level is increasing, the west coastal region, including Gujarat, then Bombay, Maharashtra, Goa, all these regions, Kerala, it will sink. After, it is telling that after 50 years, sometimes many parts of Gujarat may not be there, many parts of Kerala may not be there. Sink into Arabian Sea. That is what it is telling that because the sea level is rising due to the melting of ice of polar caps. The reason behind is that increasing pollution, increasing Okay. The oil, so this is about hydrosphere we are telling. How does the hydrosphere get polluted? First one, industrial waste and the dumping of waste from villages and cities. Then polar caps have started melting due to increasing heat. Then oil spills from the ships. Next point, oil spill. What do you mean oil spill? Oil leakage from the ship and disposal of industrial and chemical waste into the water causes the destruction of marine life, which is highly dangerous for the hydrosphere. Complete marine life, that is aquatic life, is getting in danger when oil spills takes place. Otherwise, this is a disposal of industrial waste. As a result, what happened? The marine life, the marine world is related to water, marine industry, marine studies, marine, the word, marine, okay? So the marine life, which is the aquatic life, is highly dangerous hydrosphere. So these are doing by human beings only. That's why we are ready. Effect of human activities on space. Okay. Next one. Harmful gases emitted by industries, workshop, power stations, and vehicle pollute air. So atmosphere. The atmosphere get affected by human activities. So in this atmosphere, harmful gases emitted by industries, workshop, power stations, and vehicles pollute air. The areas with the higher frequency of vehicles show increased rate of carbon monoxide in the air. And higher frequency of vehicles, just like highway, these other areas, there we can experience otherwise the presence of carbon monoxide will be more than in the areas because releases emits. Okay, so carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, whatever is there, it is mixing there with the atmosphere. So atmosphere getting polluted. Who runs the vehicle? We human beings only. We are not thinking about that when we run the vehicle, that atmosphere is getting polluted. We are not bothered about that. We want to do whatever price, whatever we want to go wherever that we will do. But ultimately, what happens due to this carbon monoxide increases in the air, carbon dioxide increases in the air, so it pollutes. So the amount of CO2 means carbon dioxide, there increases due to cutting of trees, cutting. So trees should not be cut, but at the same time, you have to grow more plants and trees. If you see the highway roads, you can see even in the middle, lot of plants and greeneries are there. Right? It helps to control pollution up to a certain limit. And on the both the sides of roads also, be grown because it absorbs carbon dioxide. Okay, so cutting never cut trees. If you cut a tree, carbon dioxide increases. If you grow tree, the trees will absorb the carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So always think of growing more plants and trees. So here understood about atmosphere, how does it get polluted? Gases emitted from industries, workshop, power stations, there. Then we have high frequency of vehicles pass there, carbon monoxide presence will be more in the air. Then the carbon dioxide increasing when the trees, typical trees. Then heat on the earth increases increasing carbon dioxide in air. This is the previous class also I told you. Characteristics of carbon dioxide is absorbs heat and it is also heavy, so it will be there in the lower level of the atmosphere. So it is increasing. In this way, human activities affect the biosphere. So here separating biosphere is not taught. But these three fields, how does it affect? Biosphere is a part of this only. We are separately telling biospheres, but biosphere also, biosphere is there, living world is there, they are also living world, they are also living world. In this area, definitely the living world is also affected. So biosphere is also affected. Okay. The natural links of natural heritage due to the exploitation of the environment, which endangers biosphere. The the nurturing things of nature are engaged into the exploitation of environment. When we do exploitation of environment, the nurturing things getting disturbed. So this also generating biosphere, otherwise it affects biosphere. Clear? We have completed the lessons. Lesson 2 also. Next week there will be class test. Next week I think already given a diary about this examination. This examination, the coming examination, otherwise the periodical assessment is so. It's just a diagnostic test of the previous year. So whatever you have studied last year, don't go very much direction. You what you remember, what you know that you do. Okay, it's a diagnostic test. So okay, I will take a test after that. We will give you another day. For now, I think 2022, we have a test. So don't worry. After that, I will take. Okay. But you whenever you get time to prepare 2 lessons. Next one, the question answers discussion. Okay, how much time is there? Let us do. Answer the following questions. What do you know about our planet short? Planet short. So about Earth, what do you know? Anything is you know about Earth. But regarding this lesson, what answer you should write for this first question? Second paragraph. Page number 6, second paragraph. Analytics believe that part of sun which has been detached from the sun after a collision is at the time of its origin. It was in the form of a fiber. This fiber started to cool down slowly. Many elements of the earth were transformed into liquid and further into solid form. During this process, the elements which were transformed into solid are known as lithosphere. The elements which were transformed into liquid are known as the hydrosphere, and the elements which transformed into gases came to be known as the atmosphere. Above all, the living world which developed due to land, water, and air became known as biosphere. Okay, so today about the earth also about the sphere, different spheres. For this, one answer is for 2 questions. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 1. Next one. How much time was taken by the Earth to reach its present form after being detached from the Sun? It is said that nearly 4.5 billion years. It is not given in the textbook, just you can note down there. 4.5 billion years it has taken. Because, why what question is there? Because the Earth cooled down gradually to make it preferable for life. We have seen initially it was a huge fireball when it is detached from the sun, but it took a lot of time. It is very gradually cooled down and different spheres formed. So that this time around 4.5 billion Earths. So that answer is not there in the textbook. Just you note down now nearly 4.5 billion years, because the Earth cooled down very gradually to make it preferable for life. Otherwise, made it possible for life. Okay. Now, how are the spheres of the Earth interrelated? Third question. Can you write how are the spheres of the Earth interrelated? How? We should explain about the core sphere and its uses. So one is connected with the another one. And in both living and non-living things are there. So without one thing, the another is not possible. So explanation is needed. How do you explain? First to define what is supposed to be about the lithosphere. Define the lithosphere. Then what are its uses? Then hydrosphere, and it is there. Hydrosphere also there under lithosphere only. Yes, no. But it is a separate question. So without lithosphere, hydrosphere is not possible. Without this sphere, biosphere is not possible. And with all this, atmosphere is connected. So in that way, one is connected with another, like definition, uses, And just to ask a conclusion, you should explain that without one, the another sphere is not to exist. Otherwise, cannot exist. Okay. Then also, any doubt is there, you can contact me. Next one. Fill in the blanks. There are totally 4 spheres on the lithosphere covers approximately 29%. Most prominent liquid component in the atmosphere, moisture. Yes, no? Most prominent, yesterday only, the previous class only I told you about moisture. Then hydrosphere made of water makes up 71%. Dash gas absorbs the ultraviolet rays of the sun, ozone gas. So it is very simple. Okay. Next one, give the meaning: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, pollution. You should write. Just define what is lithosphere, hydrosphere. Only definition. There were some rules I told you to write definition. No problem. One more time you repeat what is lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, and pollution also. Pollution definition is not given there. Just to try to find out. If you do not get, contact me. Okay. Something you should do by yourself also. Next one, state whether the following statements are true or false. Earth is a member of solar family. True. Proportion of water on the surface of the earth is less than the proportion of land. False. Proportion of water on the surface is more than, less than more. Yes. More than the proportion of land. Yes, no. Next, the fresh water is a gift of hydrosphere. Is right answer. Then oxygen dilutes nitrogen? No. Nitrogen dilutes oxygen. Oxygen dilutes nitrogen? No. Nitrogen dilutes oxygen. Okay. Now question number 5. Explain how the following are related to your life. Mountains. Any usefulness of mountain? How is it related to your life? We can say mountains help to bring rain. Prevents the wind and it helps to form clouds. So mountains helps to bring rains and it is a source of biodiversity also. Different types of plants and various biodiversity you can see there on the mountain. And it's a natural beauty. Yes, no. If you watch movies, you can see that a lot of different types of mountains and otherwise different locations. Natural beauty. Yes. So at least 2-3 points you should mention. Helps to bring rain. It's a source of biodiversity. And it adds natural beauty also. Second one, field. What are the uses? Farmers grow crop there in the field. Yes, no. So farmers grow crop in the field. Third one, rivers. Lot of uses. Water for agriculture. Can produce hydroelectricity, and some rivers are using as waterways. Then aquatic life is also fish. Then aquatic life is also there in river. Yes. So river is also connected with our life. Lakes. From lakes also water for agriculture, and this also everything. All these features you can add beauty to the nature. Then forest. Forest, wild animals, yes, no. So you can say it is the place for wild animals. Lot of medicinal plants available in forest. Yes. Then this forest maintain the environmental balance also. Because trees are there, more trees are needed to maintain the environmental balance, to control the temperature. So here we can say it's a place for wild animals. Lot of medicinal plants are available in forest. Wild animals including birds, reptiles and everything. Okay. Then it helps to maintain an environmental balance. Okay. So when you will complete the work, now next Wednesday only. Yes, no, we have next class. So 2 lessons we have completed. Do one thing. CW today is Thursday. CW complete by Saturday. Workbook by Monday. And map book as is geography lesson map book also will be there, and map book by Wednesday. So next Wednesday we will meet again. So at that time we can complete the work. So once again CW by Saturday, workbook by Monday, I am approved by Wednesday. And in between, if any doubt is there, you